guys, I'm Jaka. Welcome back. This is a 30-minute class designed kind of with sitters in mind, people with a more sedentary lifestyle or a sedentary occupation. So the whole thing is done from a standing position. You don't need a yoga mat, you don't need any props. You can even keep your shoes on for this if you're doing it at work. We're just gonna kind of bring a little bit of movement, rotation, stretch through pretty much every joint in our body and hopefully leave you feeling more mobile, more fluid, more liquidy, and more free. So let's get started. So begin in a standing position, feet about hips width apart. And then I want you to shift weight into your left foot. Step the right foot behind you and press the top of the right foot and the toes into the earth. And then just shift side to side, rolling from the big toe to the pinky toe. Let's aim for only nose breathing through this class. Just because, why not? It's more beneficial for you and helps to downregulate the nervous system and improve every single function of the body. All right, bring the right foot back down and just switch sides. Left foot steps behind you. Hands can be on your hips. If you need a little help with balancing, just do this next to a wall or a desk or your chair or whatever. So the tops of the left toes are pressing into the earth, and then just rocking the foot side to side from the big toe to the pinky toe, stretching out all those foot phalanges. It's a funny word. All right, bring the left foot back down. And then let's just take some ankle rolls. Hands can be on your hips or wherever feels comfortable. And then you can lift the foot right off the ground if your balance is okay, or you can keep the toes on the mat. It really doesn't matter here. We're just working on bringing some rotation and some movement into all of the joints in our body, starting from the soles and moving upwards. Did you switch direction? Did I tell you to switch direction? If you didn't switch direction, switch directions. And then land the right foot down and we'll switch to the left foot. So toes on or off the ground, whatever feels good for you. Do a few in one direction and a few in the other direction, really trying to make those circles big and spreading the toes even, or intending to spread them while you do so. Okay, good. Land the left foot back down and then just shift weight onto the toes and the heels with the knees bent slightly. And then do come up all the way onto your toes with a little bend in the knees. And then maybe you can straighten your legs. Really aim to spread the toes down, even if you're wearing shoes and it's hard to actually spread your toes, just intend for that to happen. And then squeeze the inner legs towards one another. Maybe reach up with your arms. And slowly lower the heels down. Shift weight back and forth again, a couple times from heels to toes. All right, now shifting weight into the left foot, we're gonna lift the right knee. So really ground down through the big toe mound, pinky toe mound, and the heel on that left foot. Use a wall or a desk or whatever you need for assistance if you do need that. We'll lift the right knee up to hip height, and then we're just gonna tick-tock the leg back and forth. So external rotation, and the right foot goes towards the left side, and then pivot. Try to keep your hips as level as you can here so you're not just, dancing around like a monkey. I want this to be fairly controlled here as we get into external rotation and internal rotation of the hips. Very kind of minor, and it might not look like a huge movement, but you'll probably feel it in your hip. That's what we're going for. All right, land the right foot down, same thing other side. So ground down through the toes, the big toe mound, pinky toe mound, spread those toes. So the more surface area you can connect with the earth, the better your balance will be, kind of thing. All right, hands to wall, hips, whatever, lift that left knee up to hip height. I like to keep my hands on my hips just because I feel like I can really tell if one hip is hiking way up there. It's not a bad thing, but for this, I don't want you to do that. Okay, and then tilt the left foot over towards the right so the knee shifts out to the left. You can see your inner leg, and then other way. Knee comes to the right, foot moves to the left. And just go back and forth, really in control. Try not to let the hips or the torso or the standing leg move too much. Keep that in the hip. Internal, external. Internal, external. I like to flex those toes, but you could also point them if that helps with your balance a little bit. And then lower that foot down. If you need to roll out the ankles a few more times, you go right ahead and do that. Spread your feet a little wider than hips width apart. We'll just do some pelvic circles. So I'm going to stick your butt way back and then scoop your butt cheeks forward. Move the hips to the right, butt cheeks back, hips to the left, butt cheeks press the pelvis forward. And so we're kind of like, at first it starts like robot hip circles, and then they might get a little bit smoother. Just trying to isolate the pelvis here. Get stuck in a pretty locked and rigid position when we do a lot of sitting. And then maybe you can just get right into it. Work on your dance moves. All right, well, that makes me really loosey-goosey. Okay, come back to your feet together, big toes touching, heels a couple inches apart. You may need a wall for this again because we're coming back onto one leg. Press down through the sole of the left foot. Inhale, right knee lifts. This time I want you to bring your right knee as high up as you can. And then we're gonna rotate, open up the right knee, keep the right toes flexing up towards the shin. And then when you can't open up anymore, you're gonna pivot, the knee comes down, the foot comes up, and then wrap the foot back around. And as you do that, the leg's gonna rotate in and the knee's gonna drop towards the earth. Come forward, bring it back up, open it up, shift the knee down, foot up, move it back in space, point the knee down, come forward, pause at the top, let's switch directions. So the knee drops down, moves back, knee lifts up, out, and then comes forward along with the foot to the starting position. Down, back, out, around, forward, in, land. Roll that left ankle out a few times if you want. If you don't need to, good for you, but I feel like I need that. All right, shifting weight into the right leg. So I lift my toes, I spread them, I press down through the toe mounds and the heel, and then I scoop my left knee up in towards my chest. I keep my hands on my hips, but if you want to use a wall or whatever, do it. Same thing, we open up that left knee, press it out with the strength of your glute, and then rotate. Foot lifts, knee drops, move it back, and then internally rotate so your foot faces the sky, your knee drops down, come forward and up. Open and out, rotate, back, down, forward, up. Other direction, knee drops down, foot goes back, knee comes out, wrap it around, up, in, down, back, out, around, up, in, and land. Roll out that right foot, right ankle, if you want to. Okay, now let's get into some of the leg muscles and the hips. Work our way into the low back area. So standing, I don't know, wherever you're standing, I'm gonna face the front of my mat for this. And we'll step the right foot behind you, and then wiggle your feet so that you have about 2 fists width between your feet. All of your toes point forward. I think I've got about 24 inches between my feet. Go with that, start in that area. Lift all your toes, feel your kneecaps lift up towards your hips, and then lower your toes back down, but keep that engagement, scissoring the inner thighs towards one another here. Glutes are engaged. Take a big breath in, hands come to your hips, and as you exhale, cast your heart forward as you lever your torso to parallel the earth. The butt, the tailbone reaches back, the heart and the crown reach forward. Inhale, come back up to standing tall. Exhale, lever forward, hips shift back in space, torso reaches long and strong. Squeeze the belly in, pull the low ribs and the hip points towards each other to really stabilize the core and the low back. Inhale, come up. You're probably dying for that inhale. Exhale, lower down. Reach out through the roof of your mouth. Inhale, come back up. Let's do one more. Exhale, down and in control. Good. Inhale, come all the way back up. Step forward with the right foot. Step back with the left foot. Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, so once again, all of your toes are pointing forward. Your feet are hips width apart, roughly, and about 2 feet away from each other. Okay, lift all your toes. Lift the kneecaps towards the hips. This helps to engage the legs, and then lower all your toes down. Scissor your inner thighs towards one another. Really ground down through the back heel. Engage the glutes. Inhale, stand up tall. Exhale, fold halfway down. So your torso should just parallel your mat or the floor. Inhale, come back up in control. Squeeze those glutes at the top. Exhale, lower halfway. I like to put one hand on my belly and one hand on my back so that I really know I'm not just arching my back or doing anything weird. Inhale, come back up. 2 more like this. Exhale, lower. Really reach out through the crown of your head. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, come on up. Squeeze those legs towards one another. Squeeze those glutes. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, step forward with the left foot to meet the right. Okay, bring your feet now almost 2 feet apart. Turn your toes out slightly and bring your hands together right in front of your chest. We're gonna do a few active squats, okay? So take a big breath in, lift all your toes, lift the knees towards the hips, engage your glutes, lower the toes back down. As you exhale, bend at the knees, drop your hips towards knee height. Maybe you get there, maybe you don't, but keep your torso nice and tall here. Don't sacrifice a nice, strong, and stable back just to get a little lower. Inhale, come up, reach your arms up high. Exhale, palms in front of the chest, drop the hips to knee height-ish. Squeeze your low belly in for support here. Keep engaging the legs, keep pressing the knees out. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, lift your toes, drop the hips, hands to heart. Inhale, stand up, reach up, gaze up, squeeze glutes forward. Exhale, drop the hips to knee height, hands to chest, toes lift, low belly squeezes in, back of the neck is long. Inhale, arms up, gaze up, reach up. Exhale, hands together in front of the chest. Okay, let's bring the feet just a little bit closer together. And then bend the knees and slide your way down into a forward fold. And bend the knees as generously as you need to. Okay, and then bring both hands out in front of your feet, so right underneath your shoulders, and with bent knees, pressing down into fingertips, pull the fingertips towards the feet towards the fingers, and reach out from your tailbone out the crown of your head, and then exhale, maybe lower your chest and your face and your head. And then again, inhale, this is a halfway lift, this is an Ardha Uttanasana. Butt reaches back, heart reaches forward, traction your fingertips towards the feet, feet towards fingertips, and exhale, bend knees, fold in. Good, now bring the fingertips together, bring the left fingertips right under your face. We're gonna bend the left knee, straighten through the right leg as best you can, and inhale, reach the right arm up to the sky, twisting open to the right. Follow that right thumb with your gaze if it's okay, otherwise look down to your left thumb. Hips reach back, crown of the head reaches forward. Take another breath in, and exhale, sweep the right hand down, replacing the left with it. Bend into the right knee, straighten through the left as best you can. Inhale, left arm reaches high, follow left thumb with your gaze. Sustain the shape on the exhale. Take another breath in. Reach even more length between all 10 of your fingertips, out the crown of your head, out the tail, and then exhale, sweep the left hand back down to meet the right. With bent knees, slowly curl yourself up to standing, and use a breath in to reach the arms nice and high. Exhale, slowly bring the palms down to your chest in front of your heart space. Walk the feet together again. We're gonna step the right toes behind you. This time, you can wiggle your feet about hips width apart again, but keep that right foot maybe only like 18 inches behind the left, and stay on the right toes, okay? We're gonna really pull the feet towards one another, activate through the inner legs. Inhale, reach the arms up high, and as you exhale, press forward with the glutes and then cactus your arms, drag your elbows back and down towards the hips, maybe gaze up if your balance is stable. Inhale, reach up, gaze up, neutralize the spine. Exhale, hips press forward, elbows reach back and down, gaze up. So really pulling the shoulder blades in towards one another. One more time. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, elbows down and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Fingertips move back in space along with the elbows. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, palms to heart space. Step forward with the right foot. Other side. Left toe step behind you. Wiggle your feet far enough apart that you're not on too much of a tightrope and you can balance okay. Okay, press down through the left toes. Glutes, squeeze the hips forward. Inner legs scissor towards one another, so you're very active here. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, cactus the elbows, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift the heart, lift the gaze. Inhale, reach up, neutralize the spine. Exhale, drop the elbows, drag them down towards the hips and try to lift the heart to the sky. One more time, inhale, gaze up, reach up. Exhale, bend the elbows, pull them back and down. Inhale, reach up, palms touch. Exhale, slide palms to heart space. Left foot steps forward. Okay, let's move into some side body stretching now that we've got the back body a little bit warmed up. We're gonna step the right foot, so hands to hips. The right foot steps behind the left foot, bend both knees, and come to the right toes or the outer edge of the right foot. Now from here, lift all of your right toes, but press down through the right big toe mound. Really root down through your left big toe, pinky toe, heel. Take an inhale with your left hand on your hip and reach your right arm up and over your right ear. Okay, you can look to your right wrist, or you can look down and sniff your own armpit. Give yourself a stink test. Now, press down more through the right foot. Take another breath in. Press the hips to the right and reach out through the right fingertips. You can gaze down to your right big toe if that's better for your neck. Sustain the shape for the exhale. Oh, that feels so good all along the right side body. Slowly come back up on an inhale. Let the left arm reach up and meet the right, and then exhale. Was that double exhales? I don't know. Hands to heart center, feet next to one another. Other side. Hands to hips, left foot steps behind the right leg. Stay on left toes or come to the knife edge of the left foot. Really ground down through right big toe mound, pinky toe mound, heel. And then lift all the left toes, flex them towards the shin and root down through the left big toe mound. Right hand to right hip. Big inhale here as we reach the left arm up and over the left ear. Maybe look up to the wrist. Maybe look down to the left big toes. My left toes are still lifted. They're active here, okay? And then use an exhale to push the hips out to the left, straightening through the left elbow. Sniff test, check yourself. I'm okay. One more breath in here. One more breath out. Ooh, that feels so good. And then slowly inhale, back to center. Right arm rises up to meet the left. Left foot steps back. Glide the hands to heart center. Just take an easy breath in through the nose here. Whew. And an easy breath out. All right. So we've done legs, we've done hips, we've done a little bit of glutes. You know what? Let's do, what are we gonna do? I got an idea. Okay, if you have a wall handy, that might be nice for you. We're gonna come into a one leg standing balance, so shift weight into the left foot. Lift the right leg up to hip height, knee is bent, And then move the right foot towards the left, okay? And then bend the left knee, land the right foot or right ankle on the left knee, and then sit down into like a chair pose. Hands come to heart center unless you're holding onto a chair or a desk or a wall for this. And then hips press back, heart reaches forward. Ooh, stretch out that right hip, that right glute. Haha, that's good. How could I have almost forgotten this pose? Take one more big breath in here. And one more big breath out. Let it feel good. Let it feel as good as it can. And then slowly come up and come out. All right, oh yeah, that's a good one. I can't believe I almost forgot it. Okay, shifting weight into the right foot. Hold onto your chair, hold onto your desk, hold onto your wall if you need it. Otherwise, hands to hips. Left knee lifts. Externally rotate, so left foot comes inward, knee moves outward. Bend the right knee, land the left ankle on the right knee. Hands come to the heart space. Butt reaches back, heart reaches forward, and we sink the hips down. Find a spot on the floor if you're not using a chair or something to help you balance. Even if you are, find a drishti, just a point that's not moving. I feel like I look a bit psycho when I do this because my eyes open really wide, but it really does help you to balance. Okay, wherever you are, take one more big breath in, pull a little bit more length out of your spine, and exhale, maybe sink a little bit deep. My cat's about to knock. All right, slowly inhale, rise back up, and exhale, release your foot down. Very nice. Roll out the ankles if you need to. Cool. Let's do a little tiny bit of core before we wrap it up. Okay, let's do a little bit of your fingertips, and that's it. Tickle your ears with your fingertips. Have your feet about maybe a little wider than hips width, maybe not at all, maybe your feet come together, whatever feels good for you, okay? And we're gonna lift the left knee and then reach to touch it with your right elbow. It'll be helpful to find your drishti, the point on the floor somewhere that's not moving. And I like to inhale up and out, exhale. I'm exhaling out of my mouth just so you can hear the sound, but normally I would just do a forceful little exhale out of my nose. Just keep going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Okay, let's get into the shoulders a little bit. If you need to quickly stretch out your arms, just cross one over your chest, give a little squeeze. Other side before we get a little deeper into the shoulders. Hands come to your shoulders, elbows point out, and then squeeze them in, forward, up, out, back, down. So big circles. Really, I don't need to give you the directions. Just make big circles with your elbows, with your hands, touching your shoulders. Okay? And then pause wherever you are, switch directions. Big circles. Try not to let your back arch and your butt stick out. Try to keep a pretty neutral spine. Very nice. Now, thumbs to armpits, hands on your chest, elbows point out wide, and we're gonna just twist side to side. You can let your knees bend here. You can let this be fairly fluid. You can let your chin roll into your chest, or let your gaze move side to side. Allow your body to be a little bit soft while we just bring some rotation through the spine. Breathing deeply through the nose. I always like to close my eyes when I do this. It feels a little nicer for me, but if you want to keep your eyes open and watch me twirl, go for it. All right, and then slowly slow it down. Let your hands move out of your armpits, and let your hands just kind of booty slap yourself. Slowing it down, slowing it down, slowing it down. Aww. And then eventually come back to stillness. Now interlace your fingers behind your back And then squeeze the elbows in towards one another here. If you can, if it's okay with your body, you can pull the knuckles away from the sacrum and then squeeze the base of the hands together. From here, if you've got that, if you don't have that, just keep the knuckles on the sacrum and keep squeezing the elbows together. Otherwise, drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Try not to let the back arch like crazy, okay? Try to keep the hips pressing forward so that you have a pretty straight line from your toes to your head. Right ear towards right shoulder. Knuckles keep pulling down and away from the shoulders. And try to find a little bit of length on the right side of the neck as well as the left. Take one more inhale here. And exhale, soften, but stay. Drop the chin almost into the chest, but more towards the right armpit. And then slowly roll to the chest. And keep rolling over towards the left shoulder. And then gaze up and come to neutral. Release your hands. Roll out your wrists a little bit. We're going to come right back into that, but opposite index finger on top. So probably the one that feels awkward. Start with the knuckles at your sacrum, and then if you can, reach them away. Don't arch your back like crazy to get this though. Keep a straight spine, and if you have to keep your elbows bent, don't sacrifice the integrity of your body just to get into a stretch. Does that make sense? Anyways, okay. If you're here, cool. If you're here, also cool. This time, left ear towards left shoulder. Keep reaching knuckles down and away. And try to find length through the left side of the neck now as well as the right. Breathe in. And breathe out. And then drop the chin towards the left armpit now. And slowly roll your chin to the center of the chest and keep rolling over to the right. And then turn your gaze up to the ceiling and come back to center. Release your hands, roll your wrists around a few times, maybe press your right arm straight, pull back on your right fingers with the left hand, and then flip the grip, press the palm towards you, pressing out through the top, through the wrist. I'm losing it. Other side, press the left palm forward and pull back on the left fingers with the right. That feels nice. And then flip the grip, pull the left hand, left palm of fingers towards you, but keep pressing away with the wrist and the arm. Oh, that's good. Okay, come to standing, feet about hips width apart. Ground down through the heels, the big toe mounds, pinky toe mounds, and then reach the arms up nice and high. Exhale, bend the elbows, bend the knees, fold over your thighs. Grab opposite elbows and with a generous bend in the knees, straighten one leg and then the other. Shake your head no in slow-mo, shake your head yes in slow-mo. And then slowly roll up to standing one vertebra at a time. Let your arms hang. Inhale, reach your arms up one more time. And then exhale, palms come together in front of the heart. You're all done. You've just moved and grooved through pretty much every joint in your body. Hope to see you again soon. Thank you for joining me. Peace.